Hi, I'm Yvette Hernandez.
And I'm Raquel Paulino.
And you're watching American Hispanics, The Journey, where our Hispanic community tunes in weekly to hear what is good and to learn about the journey to the American dream. Guys, I'm so glad that you're here watching us today. We got some great topics for you. We got blackmail, we got home remedies, we've got education on Hispanic businesses and all that. And we also have a great interview today. We have Laura Vela. That's right, guys. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Did you talk about our fun topic?
Yeah, we said home remedies for Hispanics. I'm telling you that you're gonna love that one. You're gonna love that one. Today we want to talk about how our Hispanic community gets blackmailed at work and during education, at any time really. This could happen at any time. We're talking about how they get blackmailed. I'm gonna tell you a story about my friend Anya, who actually worked over 40 hours one week. She's a housekeeper, and she was cleaning. I think she was working at a hotel, cleaning rooms, and that's a hard job. She did that for over a week, and they decided that they didn't want to pay her because they found out she was undocumented. So, I mean,
that's so sad.
It was very sad.
That's so sad. I've also had similar stories. My brother works in construction, and he was telling me that some of the guys out there that are invited to work on some of the construction sites do not have documentation, and then they do this hard labor event. They have them in the sun, working on concrete, siding. Yeah. Very dangerous and high-risk jobs.
Doing the high-risk stuff. Like, because they don't have the documents, they get to do all the stuff that no one else wants to do. Like, you get up on the roof up there.
Wow. Yeah. And at the end of it all, after a week and sometimes 15 days, they keep dragging it on, and then there's no pay.
There's no pay.
At the end of all of that hard labor.
But there is help out there. I think that, don't we have something that they can do about that?
Definitely. I think my first recommendation is do a reference check. Even if you don't, tú no conoces con quién tú estás trabajando.
Exacto.
No le meta mano.
Exactly.
Definitivamente.
Yeah, work only for those people that you know. I mean, we're going to give you a little bit of advice, and we're going to say only work for those people that you trust and that you know that are not going to do something like that to you. There are also people that are documented, though, that are being treated like they're undocumented.
Correct. And it all comes down to education and figuring out what kind of licensing, what kind of certifications, and what the going rate is for that type of work. So in construction, for example, even somebody who's doing some light handwork is getting paid $14 to $17 an hour with very limited training. Exactly. So any type of work underneath that, I would recommend that doesn't get done by you or any of your friends or family members.
Yeah, so don't get caught up in anything like that. We want to give you, we want to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys can text us or Instagram us, send us something on Facebook, tell us your story about that. If you've been through something like that, we'd love to hear about that. And we also want to know if there's any help out there for someone like that. I know there's got to be something out there.
And I would also encourage Yvette for our viewers to treat their own brothers and sisters well. Because often we know who the undocumented people are. And we know that we can kind of get away with a little bit more than maybe somebody that they wouldn't trust. Ella dominicana, ella mexicana, she got my back. And so they come and they work for us and we don't have their back. And so we definitely need to make sure that all of that undocumentation stays pretty limited in the communication.
Yeah, it all comes
don't tell everybody about your status until you're ready to fix it.
Help your brothers and sisters. Don't take advantage of them, you know. Treat them with respect, with the same respect that you want to be treated. Treat them with the same respect. I mean, that's the only thing we're asking. And I think that's fair. And be fair to your brothers and sisters. I know she's undocumented. I want to hire her, and then I'm not going to pay her.
Or I'm going to abuse her and pay her the very minimal.
Yes.
So definitely thinking about that, and also connecting your personal story. We're here on the journey. So, I mean, my mom at some point was undocumented, maybe your aunt or your uncle, and think about that and connect that story to who we are and where we are and how we can further advance the community.
That's right. I mean, I had my sister Barbara came in illegally, and she went to school, and in the long run, we finally got her documented. But I mean, when she was undocumented, there were people threatening to call, you know, on us and get her deportation. It was a bit scary, but at the same time, we understood that there are laws that we had to follow, and we went and we did what we had to do to get her and keep her here and get her legalized.
I have a juicy story. I don't know how many minutes we have left.
But let's
but
do
I
this.
will tell you that my mom was blackmailed.
Oh no, what
Yes.
happened?
And guess who? I mean, because it's family, I'm not going to share who, but it was
That's
a
right.
family member
Right.
who called immigration on her
Are you kidding me?
to the factory where she was working, and she was working with not all the appropriate documentation.
Right, right.
And I mean, it was on her record, and she was set for deportation until she started to do the paperwork. And guess what? She made it.
Thank God, because you're here. You was born here. So if your mom would not stayed here, you would have been born in where?
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic.
Oh,
Dominican
you know, my
Republic.
father calls it out all the time.
Does he? Mm-hmm. He says that.
Gracias a Dios.
Gracias a Dios que tenemos Señor.
Gracias a Dios por mí que ustedes son
Sí.
americanos.
Oh yeah, that's
So
awesome. That's awesome.
you always know the privilege that we have for having documentation and to having access to the American dream.
So we hope that we have brought you some good information with regards to blackmailing out there. We want to make sure that you don't get blackmailed. There has to be some help out there for all those who are undocumented that need the
And
help that they need. And
remember,
believe me,
Yvette,
family should help family, and neighbors should help family.
And
help
while
each
you
other, too.
are still seeking the appropriate legal status, keep that information very limited.
That's right.
On a need-know basis only.
Exactly. Guys, we love you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are watching American Hispanics, The Journey. I'm Yvette Hernandez.
And I'm Raquel Paulino. We'll be taking a short break, and we will be right back.
The Journey, where our Hispanic community tunes in weekly to hear what is good and to learn about the journey to the American dream. We're back. I'm Yvette.
And I'm Raquel.
And guys, we always have important information to give you. We have educational information to provide. We have so much to give to you today. And today we want to talk about Hispanic businesses. And we want to talk about how that comes about. Because we already talked about how they get blackmailed and how people get blackmailed because they're undocumented. But even the people that are documented properly get blackmailed as well. And what do they do to get past that is that they create businesses. And
Right.
Yeah. So
You find yourself in a community where you have your own needs. How to do my own hair.
Right.
How to find that special cuisine, that
Right.
food that I like.
Yes.
And who but me can provide that?
Exactly. So there's a lot of businesses out there that the Hispanic community provides. They do like liquor stores. They do a lot of beauty hair salons.
La Bodega,
La Bodega, the
cleaners.
restaurants, cleaners. A lot of entrepreneurs out there creating their own things, coming up with things that have to do with fashion. I mean, there's a lot of friends of mine that like to do makeup. They like to be in the entertainment business. There's so much out there that you can do. Creating your own business is very important because that way you don't have to deal with a lot of the blackmail that we talked about, a lot of the things that, hey, what happens if you can't get hired by regular, society, by the American thinking? We
Right.
need this, that, and the other. Well, you create your own business. You do your own thing. So I think a lot of Hispanics are very smart when it comes to that, and they want to do their own thing.
Yvette, tell me a little bit about family members of yours who've had their own companies and their own businesses.
Let me tell you, a lot of my family members do create their own businesses. What they've done is that first of all, they try to see what the need is. What's the need here? For instance, one of my aunts, and I'm not going to say her name. I don't know if she wants to be, but maybe she does want to be talked about. Featured. She does eyebrows. She went to an Indian lady and got threaded. You know, there's a threading.
Yes.
Yes. She went to get her eyebrows threaded and said, "This is something great. Nobody else does it." And when Hispanics do it, they pluck you one eyebrow at a time, and it takes forever. So she learned how to thread. And what did she do? She opened up her own little shop.
Is that here in Atlanta
No,
or
in Rhode Island? In Rhode
Oh,
Island.
wow.
And she went to the mall, asked if she can open up one of those kiosks or one of those little spots. And she started threading people's eyebrows, and everybody loves it. And now it's become a big trend. I mean, it's all over the place. I mean, you go online and you can pull up eyebrow threading, and that, boom, there it is. She started doing this before it got like really famous like that.
Oh,
and
right.
now her little shop, forget about it, is hopping. She had to teach a few people how to do it, and it creates jobs. It creates jobs and it helps the community out. So yeah, that's one example that you can show how people do it with their own businesses and how you guys can do it too. I hope that you guys can go online and tell me what you created as a job, or what have you done to make something for yourself and do something better. Be an entrepreneur, do something different.
Right. In my family, my mom started a health food business, and she was dedicated to making sure that people that didn't have health insurance, because they weren't hired in those typical and commercial jobs, were offered preventative care and how to take care of themselves. So she dedicated all her work to Vida Sana, was what she called it.
That's good. I like that. And it keeps our community healthy. We like to empower our community. We like to do things that help other people. We like to help. I think we're very much helpers. I think the Hispanic community likes to do a lot of things to help others.
Stick together, push everybody forward to the next level.
Next level. That's right. That's right. Guys, you are watching American Hispanics, The Journey. And we've got something good for you coming up. We've got a great interview.
Yes, Yvette. We are interviewing Laura Vela, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy hearing her story in the American journey.
That's right. The Journey, where our Hispanic community tunes in weekly to hear what is good and to learn about the journey to the American dream.
If you have a story to tell, make sure you hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or even send us an email. You never know, your story could be aired on our next show.
Hi guys, we're back, and I told you we have a great interview for you today. We have Laura Vela with us today, and I'm also here with my buddy,
Raquel Paulino.
That's right. Laura, we want to know, were you born in the United States, or were you, did you come into the United States from out of the country?
I was born in the United States, in Texas. My mom came into the country when she was 8 months pregnant with me. Cruzó el río.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she crossed the border, was pregnant with you. Oh my
8
goodness.
months.
Was she swimming in a boat?
And a tube. I think it was like a tire.
Any other siblings?
I'm the oldest.
Are you the
so,
oldest?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were her first child.
First child.
Oh
came
my
over,
goodness.
yeah.
What was the motivation? Why did she leave?
Better life.
Better life.
No future. Yeah, no había trabajo. She wanted to make sure I was born here.
Oh
And
my
I
goodness,
was.
yes. Wow,
You made it.
You made it. So we always like to hear those incredible stories coming across the border like that.
Yeah.
And how old was she when she was pregnant with you?
22 years old.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
so
she
2
was a
years younger
baby.
than I am now.
Yeah, you know, you hear
Super
that.
young.
Super young.
That
And
was very high risk.
high risk.
So you know that she was invested in
Yeah.
this dream
Right,
that we're
right.
talking about on the show. We're always talking about this dream. So I mean, you have to be pretty courageous to
do
take
something
that
like
risk.
that, right? Come over, she's pregnant. So now she came over, she was pregnant with you, she's 22 years old. What did she do for work? Do you know?
She worked in the fields. I spent a lot of time, and we picked oranges. We picked fresas. We have a lot of pictures of me climbing ladders when I'm like 2 years old, trying to help out in the fields. And those times you took your child with you, obviously,
Yes,
to work.
to work. You couldn't afford the childcare at that time.
Exactly.
Right. So you grew up in, did you learn a lot of Spanish at first?
Yeah, I only spoke Spanish until I went to elementary school.
Okay.
That's where I started to learn English. My dad spoke English, but right after I failed kindergarten, right after that is when I took an interest in English.
Don't worry about it. It happens to all of us. You know, when
Yes.
you're learning two languages, sometimes it becomes a little more difficult. You know, when you're learning English and you're learning Spanish. Sometimes the education just falls back,
Yeah.
and you have to stay back a year. I did. I had
Yeah,
to stay
you
back
did?
a year. I
Okay.
did when I was in high school.
Okay.
So you stayed back in kindergarten.
Yeah, in kindergarten they held me back because I couldn't speak English. From there, after that, I did really well in school. Once I got to 5th grade, I was like in the gifted program.
Wow.
But,
Okay,
First of all, I want to know how you got into art.
Oh, okay.
Because you started going to high school, and what got you into art?
I don't even really know. Nothing.
No,
It
sorry?
just came to me. That was like what I had the most interest in.
Was that your best class? Did you do well, and did you say to yourself?
I did well in high school in other classes, but that was just the one, that I was the most interested in. We had a really good teacher who let us know that there was a career in art outside of, just a hobby.
Yeah. So in high school, you decided you liked art. When did you decide you were going to make it a business? Right? Is that what you were talking about? How she got into that? Into the business part of it?
I went to college for art after that.
You did?
And I'm still, working on that a little bit. That's, kind of like maybe a lifelong journey in art with artists, trying to make a living out of making art.
So I think my question was, how did she pick, that theme?
How'd she pick that theme? Well, how
That's
did
a
she
good
pick that
question.
theme?
That's a good question. I think
For the artwork that
the
she's
artwork that you
showcasing a lot of the Latinos. So
Right.
my question is, Laura, you lived in a community that didn't celebrate Latino culture, unlike
Right.
me and Yvette and Dario
Yeah,
and some of the other guys that we're talking
We're
about.
immersed in Hispanic stuff.
Yeah,
Correct.
Which I'm jealous of. I wish so bad.
No, but you're in it now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, how do you pick that to be your venue, like your vehicle art to showcase all of this
I think
Latino pride?
Just, like we're talking about journeys, I think just my journey in, being raised like that, and these between cultures is what inspired my artwork and what I make art about, which is about, it is about being Chicana, it's about the, gray area in between, being from here, being from there, but not quite being from anywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's mostly what I make art about.
I like that. Listen to me. What kind of advice would you give our audience today if you had to say something to them with regards to being Hispanic or whatever? You would say.
I would
moving
say
forward? Would you say
keep moving forward. Keep, I don't know, we have to keep up our culture. Teach your kids
Yes.
Spanish.
Yes. That's a good one. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it a lot. Guys, thank you so much for being with
Thank
us
you,
today.
Laura.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you guys for watching us with Laura Vela. She's a great art worker. Do you have a location? Do you need to say your Instagram or anything?
Yeah, follow my Instagram, lauravela.art.
Yes. Guys, thank you for watching us. We're back. I'm Yvette.
And I'm Raquel.
Wasn't that a great interview,
Yes,
Raquel?
it was, Yvette.
Yeah, how do you know Laura?
I know Laura from work. I met her a few years ago, and she let us know that she was very interested in the language immersion component of the school. So
Excellent.
you guys remember that I work at the language immersion school.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, I just loved everything she had to say. And we have to let our high school students know that it comes sometimes while you're in high school, that's when you start thinking about who you want to be, because she already knew who she wanted to be when she was in high school.
Started exploring her passions and connecting to her Latin roots.
That's
and
right.
showing that in her work. That's amazing.
It's amazing. I loved it. She's so cute. Thank you, Laura. I'm so glad she came to see us today. Listen, we've got some fun stuff to talk about. Let's talk about some home remedies.
Oh, yes.
Let me tell you, en mi casa, cuando yo estoy enferma y me duele la cabeza, todo es mentol. El mentol se usa para todo. You know what I'm talking about?
For everything.
For everything. ¿Te duele la cabeza, mija? Ponte un chin de mentol. Que te duele la garganta, cómete un chin de mentol. Échale el mentol a tu café. I'm really talking about. They put menthol. What do they call it in
You're
English? Is it
kidding.
Vicks? Vicks.
I think
Vicks.
she's exaggerating.
Vicks. No. Vicks. You got a headache, put Vicks on your head.
But not in your
got a
coffee. I've
you got a
never
sore
heard that
throat.
one.
Listen to me. I didn't know this stuff was poisonous. No, I'm grown. I'm a grown woman now, people.
Yvette.
And listen, she used to put it on my feet. She used to put it on my head. She used to put it on my throat, in my nose. I'm starting to read this stuff, right? After I'm growing up and I'm saying, it says do not put it in your mouth. It is poisonous. Mom, I'm not dead yet, so I guess it doesn't.
Yeah,
But she
Lilo.
used to put it in my nose, on my throat, on my back, on my feet.
Definitely.
And in my tea. Yeah, drink this.
That is the one that has driving me crazy. The one of Vicks inside of your coffee. I think Yvette is exaggerating.
I'm telling you, all Hispanics family be eating it. They be eating the Vicks.
Doña
Eat it.
Flor is gonna be laughing when she
It
hears
tastes
this.
good. It's minty. It's la menta. They think it's only minty stuff. They don't realize there's poisonous stuff in there. You're only supposed to be smelling it. I
Let me tell you
But what
about-
other remedies do your family use?
Okay, so the one that I think is most hocus pocus, and then I'll share one that I think works. What about Dario's story that he shared with us, that his mom took him even to the witch doctor to get rid of the asthma with a little bit of his hair.
Witch doctor still?
I can't believe it. And so,
They're like Indians or something. Go to the witch doctor. He'll tell you what
so
to do.
then Dario tells the story of how nothing worked for him, and I'm definitely not that much of an Americanized Latina. I
Right,
think
right.
that some of the things still work.
You
But
know-
Dario, our co-host, doesn't believe that none of it works.
None of it works?
He said, Mami, déjame tranquilo que ya, yo voy a
Leave me
tener
alone.
asthma.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
I think, you know what happens is they think that they've cured you, giving you all this stuff, and it's just actually that your body has finally gone through it. Because they spend a whole week giving you all this stuff, and then, oh, he got better because I gave him the beet juice.
Right.
He got better because I did this or that. You know what? I've become so Americanized that I just go to CVS or Walmart and pick up something. And,
Me too.
Yeah. I don't be. But sometimes, let me tell you, when that stuff doesn't work, I do call mommy. Mommy, what was that thing you told me to use for my sinuses or something?
Right.
Yeah, and she.
I think we do a little bit of both. I still do a lot
I
of
do.
garlic in my soups. I definitely believe that the onion does, do the anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
The fresh vegetables. I believe in all of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know about everything. Limones para todo. Ponte un limón en la cabeza, un limón en el estómago.
Oh, Lord, yes.
I think
Lime. Is it the green lime or the yellow lime?
The yellow lime. I think my mom used that instead of the Vicks
Did she?
on everything.
The lemon?
Cómetelo.
Right? Eat it. There's the vitamin C in it. I mean, if you have a cold and you're eating stuff with vitamin C in it, of course, it's going to help you. It's going to help you heal. Man, those home remedies, guys, I want you to go on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and tell us what your family uses as home remedies. We love to hear your stories. We want to bring those up sometime. We thank you for watching us today. You're watching American Hispanics, The Journey, and we hope that we've empowered you, that we've given you some information that you can use. And of course, Laura Vela had so much to say during her interview. I'm so glad to have her on our show today. And we are just so excited to provide some things. And please, tell us what you want to hear about. If you guys have some stories that you want to hear, or if you got some things that you want us to talk about, tell us about that, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. Thank you for watching.
And remember to connect with us on Instagram, on Facebook, or Twitter.
That's right. And at this time, I would like to invite our local businesses that cater to our Hispanic community to please give us a shout as well and let us know about your story, about your journey. We'd love to come by and shoot at your location. I'm Yvette Hernandez.
And I'm Raquel Paulino.
Hasta la vista.
See you soon.